3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Reptipod Podcast, where we discuss keeping styles, news, and uncommon species. Your hosts for Reptipod Podcast are Kyle from D20 Exotics
and Bryce from Prime Exotics,
bringing you awesome content about exotics. Well, welcome back to our 5th episode and our first episode back of Reptipod. It has been about 9 months since we had our last episode with Ethan talking about colubrids. And today we don't have a guest speaker, but we have us, and that's what matters. So, today we're going to be discussing some of the changes that we've had in our own collections over the last 9 months. Or lack of change for one of us. You can take a guess which one.
Starting with that, Kyle, do you got any changes? What's going on?
Oh, you guessed it. I'm the one that does not have very much in the way of changes in my collection. I've only gotten 2 new additions in the last 9 months. And actually, I think when we recorded last, I'd actually already purchased these 2, but I was waiting until weather cleared up a bit and the heat died down here. Because it was a brutal summer. There was no shipping in or out for a while in Arizona.
Yeah,
So,
I remember you talking about that for a long time, waiting for them to come in.
Yeah, it was a while before we were comfortable with shipping. But I did get my pair Gulf hammock rat snakes. That's my only new addition in the last 9 months. I got them. They've actually already they're out of quarantine. I mean, I guess they've been out of quarantine for 4 months now, but and they're all set up and doing great. So,
are they eating well and everything?
Yeah, they're eating mostly my fingers.
Rat
they
snakes,
are fun. They're fun little rat snakes. I'll tell you what. They are quick, and they have no fear of biting you.
I have never even heard of them until you mentioned that you were getting them.
So I hadn't heard of them until 6 months before I bought them. I don't remember exactly where I saw them at, or I heard about them initially. But I was looking around, and I found only one person was really selling them. And maybe we'll try to get them on the podcast at some point. We'll see. But
yeah.
And they had a pair that they had bought from somebody else. And as far as they know, they were the only person who had a pair in captive bred. They were working on that project. And hopefully eventually I'll get into that project. And I'd like to see if I can try to get my hands on one more female and one more male. Just so I have 2 females that could be ready to go and a backup male just in case. Because they are pretty good looking rats. I'll tell you what.
Do they get big like other rats?
Yeah, they're pretty much the same size as most North American rat species.
Okay.
There's not a lot of studies around them, and that's really what intrigued me a lot with them. It goes back and forth a lot in the community of, are they a hybrid species? Is it a subspecies? Is it a locality? What really is this? And nobody really seems to have the answer for it. Some people have mentioned they think it's a hybrid between 2 other rat snake species. A naturally reoccurring hybrid.
Yeah.
But they're really an interesting species, and they're really good looking. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
So that's really my only new addition. Ultimately, the last. Well, actually, I do have one unfortunate thing to discuss too.
Oh, which one?
I did lose my file snake.
Oh, not the file snake.
He did not do the move well.
Man.
He actually passed away about a month after moving.
Weren't you having problems with him beforehand too?
He's always been difficult with eating.
Yeah.
And every time I feel like I get him back on a good eating schedule, he goes on a hunger strike for a long time again. And this time he just didn't come out of that hunger strike. Because it almost seemed like for him, he would eat half the month or half the year really well. But then he would kind of slow down on his eating for like 6 months, then pick it all right back up another 6 months. Like he wasn't losing weight, and that's what I thought was really weird. And I think something else was going on. Because he wasn't really losing weight at all. And he was still growing a little bit. It is a wild caught, so I don't know how old he was when I got him. I just have estimates, and it was difficult to really tell at what stage of life he's really at. But
Yeah.
so yeah, he unfortunately did not make it.
Man, I was just about to get one too. Not
Yeah.
really. That was like 8 months ago when I wanted one, but
Yeah. It seems like most people that I've talked to that have file snakes never have that problem. They're always great eaters. So it's only natural I get the one file snake around that just has something going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the changes that I've had the last 9 months. No, it's not a whole lot. It's been a lot of upgrading enclosures and working with the species that I have more than adding additional species and additional snakes to the collection. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. So Bryce, we got a lot of talking to do about your changes here. So
Yes, we do.
so last time we talked on the last episode with Ethan, you had said you were selling your entire collection and then going to buy up a large colubrid collection.
Yes.
How'd that go?
I'm trying to think what I had. I think I had like nothing then, right?
I don't think you had anything. I think you were planning on buying a Honduran.
Oh, it's that far back. Okay. So I never got Hondurans. Did I?
Naturally.
I did, but that was before. And that wasn't even for I don't even know why I bought two. Okay. So, yeah, I guess it's like 9 months ago now. So since then, we've got a few different things. I have some breeding projects going on currently right now. I just did some pairing this week actually. So we have 4 corn snakes. I have a false water cobra and a peach throat monitor, and then I've had that bearded dragon that's just always been around. You know, everyone has one. So breeding wise,
I don't, for the record.
everyone but you. You don't count as like a reptile keeper.
I have my leopard gecko. That's close as I'm getting.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I'm about to trade mine for a leopard gecko. They're way easier to care for. Yeah. So breeding wise, we have 2 hypo het albino, which is a proven pair, which I got from Ethan from SoFlo Reptiles, the guy we had on last time. And then we have a blood red, which is basically just a normal, and I'm getting rid of him. I got him for free. That's why I have him. And then I have a lavender stripe with some mystery hets that I don't remember. And she's a female. And I don't think she's even big enough. So I paired the 2 hypos because they're proven. And then I'm going to try the lavender, but I don't think she's big enough because I don't even know her age, and she's small. And then the false water cobra, he's probably like 4 months old now. I don't even know. 5 months, maybe 6. I don't know. He's been a blast though. I had him in the snake rack for the first like month or 2, and then now he's in an enclosure. He's in a 20-gallon right now because he's still pretty small, and then I'm moving him into a 4-foot by 2-foot eventually when he gets a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, the peach thrower monitor. He's been amazing. He's been so fun. If you got experience with monitors, I definitely recommend them because they're so fun to work with. And I don't know, I think they're so underrated. Like no one has them really. I don't know. They're awesome though.
Peach throat monitors was one of the monitors that I was looking at potentially getting.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I have the space for a peach throat.
You do.
Granted, I probably do, but I don't have the space in the reptile room. And I am trying to limit how many reptiles go in the living room and my bedroom.
That sounds like a Pete's throat in the bedroom. Then.
Well, I don't want anything in the bedroom because the bedroom I use for quarantine. I don't know why that just completely dropped out of my mind for a while. For quarantine is what I use the
Hmm.
bedroom and mostly the closet, really. But I want there to be more doors between quarantine and the rest of my collection. So the living room, I thought about putting some display animals.
Okay.
Um,
Poison dart frogs. There you go.
Not poison dart frogs. I was looking at, on that same topic though, um, getting some milk frogs
There you go. Those are
to
amazing.
set up because I do have an enclosure that's already actually in my living room that's been empty since I moved in.
I love milk frogs. They're awesome.
And I've been keeping my eye out for milk frogs. I just haven't found any yet. They're definitely I feel like they're harder to come by now. The milk frogs they grew in popularity pretty quick.
Yeah.
So that was one of the species that I did want to put in the living room, and I'm resisting putting anything else in the living room because pretty soon I'm going to be getting my custom enclosures.
Ooh.
So the Taiwanese beauty rat snake is growing like a weed.
Yeah, I bet.
So he will be going in a nice big arboreal display enclosure in the living room.
Nice.
And then I think the falsie's going to be living in the living room here soon too.
Nice.
Preferably in an enclosure, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
You don't want them free roaming?
Not really. He's not the friendliest.
How big is yours now?
He's
What do you
about
say?
5 feet long.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He is
Still eats
growing a lot.
amazingly.
Oh, tries to eat me half the time.
Yeah, that's like the
Yeah,
best part about them. They don't stop
he's been
eating.
eating like 2 chicks now every week.
That's awesome. I
I,
actually haven't fed mine chicks yet.
have you been doing a rodent diet?
No, not just rodent. I've been
Okay.
doing multiple things, but I
Well,
haven't.
I know whenever I fed rodents, it seemed like man, the poop managed to get on the ceiling of the enclosures and the walls, and we've
Yeah, it gets
had
everywhere.
some rough poop on a rodent diet. So I switched him. Occasionally he still gets rodents, but it's more of a bird and fish diet.
Yeah.
Birds seem like the best for him.
Huh. I gotta try that. I
So
haven't done that
I
yet.
like to do. I fed him baby quail when he
Mm.
was younger. Then I switched it up to chicks. Now he eats chicks.
How pricey is that? The chicks?
Not too pricey actually.
Do you
They're
order?
definitely more expensive than rodents, but
Yeah. Do you order them or do you have a
yeah,
place?
I
Okay.
order them. Yeah, I order them from Rodent Pro,
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah,
Rodent
I
Pro.
want to start buying chicks. I just would rather not buy on. It's so expensive online. Like all my rodents, I buy by a local pet store, and I get any rodent for $1. So it's so nice. But then
That's nice. I
quail,
buy bulk.
yeah, bulk's
So
definitely
I
better.
only actually order rodents like twice a year, or order feeders twice a year,
Oh, nice. Yeah,
and then
that's
I
what.
have a lot of bulk. And I still have like if I need something special, I go down to the store and they usually have it for me.
Yeah.
But
Then you got that
if I
pet store
gotta,
that has an emu free roaming.
yes, oh yeah,
That's
I'd
awesome.
like to actually get the owner of that store on a podcast too at some point. I might be
Oh,
able to
yeah,
discuss
definitely.
that with him.
That's
So
definitely
he's really cool. He's got the emu that comes in on Mondays.
that's awesome. What the heck?
The store is just awesome. You come in, it's got a giant fake tree in the middle now. They did a lot of
Nice.
upgrades to it. It's got a giant fake tree with a bunch of branches on the outsides, and you'll go and you'll let one of his iguanas hang out on the top there.
That's awesome.
And
So
I
other
forgot
than
what it was. It was a giant rodent, but not a capybara. That he also
hmm,
has that hangs out at the store. I can never remember the name of it. It's not a
a
capybara. I think it's
kangaroo.
it's like a third largest rodent.
Yeah, I can't tell you. An
I'm not sure.
armadillo. Is
Definitely not.
that a rodent?
You had a porcupine there for a little while.
Oh, we just had a hedgehog at work. Those are pretty cool.
Hmm. But yeah, that store is pretty cool. That's usually where I like to go to for everything.
Hmm.
Mostly just because I like supporting them. They do good work. They do a lot of
Yeah.
like outreach events and stuff to help the community understand reptiles better too. He does a whole venomous thing with them too.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
That's amazing.
but yeah, that's usually how my feeders go. I do like to get a nice variable diet, especially for the false water cobra.
Yeah.
The Taiwanese beauty is about to start getting more variation now that he's getting big enough to be able to accept more stuff.
Hmm. So, other than reptile keeping, you got anything new with you?
So I am planning a trip. I think Bryce might be joining me. We'll see. I am trying to plan a trip for Costa Rica probably next year around this time.
Oh yeah.
So I initially was gonna plan for like a 4-day trip, just like like a Friday through Monday kind of thing, or like a
Hmm.
Thursday through Sunday kind of thing. But I got enough time off. I could really do a couple weeks there.
Whoa. Couple weeks.
So I might spend a couple weeks. I don't know if I'll get anybody else to join me for a couple weeks, but
Hmm.
maybe people will come different days or whatever.
There you
But
go.
I'm definitely planning to spend a good amount of time in Costa Rica. Initially I was planning it to do like a 4-day trip or maybe do a cruise that hits Costa Rica for a day. The problem I had with the cruise was like I like cruising. Don't get me wrong, I love cruising.
Hmm.
Uh, but I really want to spend a lot more time in Costa Rica than a day, I think.
Oh yeah.
I
Same.
don't think that I can really get everything I want to do in Costa Rica done in a day.
Definitely the herping part.
Yeah, because I want to go herping like sunrise and sunset every day, hang out at
Hmm.
the beach during the day, do some hiking during the day, go check out the scenery.
Hmm.
Um, and there's a pretty nice spot that I'm looking at in Costa Rica that we could just rent the house or stay at the hotel. And it's real close to the beach, but we're also really close to the national forest there to do some
That'd be
herping.
awesome.
And it's also there's a lot of monkeys and sloths in the area, so not just herping.
Hmm.
We'll look for a lot, but I'm definitely wanting to plan that trip here soon.
Would that be your first time in Costa Rica?
That would be. I've been around, not really around Costa Rica. I've been to a lot of the Caribbean islands,
Hmm.
but I've never been to Costa Rica, so that will be a first for me. But I
Same.
don't think it'll be my only either.
Oh yeah.
I don't imagine that I'm going to go to Costa Rica and not want to go back every year.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be an annual trip to Costa Rica and just start
There you go.
inviting everybody out.
Same house every time.
Yeah, just rent out a big house in Costa Rica. There's some nice ones there. Rent
Might
out a
as
big
well just.
house for like a couple weeks. If more people
Mhm.
want to come, then we have room in the house. Then they can rent a hotel and just meet us at the house when we're there and hang out. You know,
Might as well just buy a house there, move there.
yeah, I don't think I can afford a house there.
Fact.
I don't think I can afford my job to let me go full remote. But
That's true.
if I get a job that lets me go full remote, there's a high chance I will be living in Costa Rica.
Yeah. I want to go back
So
to Africa again. That's where I want to go again.
I do want to go to Africa. That's a little pricier of a trip
I
in Costa
yeah,
Rica,
it was very pricey last year.
but that I think that would be on my list. Costa Rica first. It's cheaper. It's more affordable.
Hmm.
Maybe an annual Costa Rica trip, and one of those trips we substitute out for Africa.
There we go. And then Australia. That's the next spot.
Well, Australia would be another one too.
Yeah. Gotta go to
Maybe
them all.
we do Costa Rica next year, right?
Yep.
Do Costa Rica one more year.
Okay, 2 years in a row.
Okay, then Africa,
Yep.
and then Costa Rica a couple more years.
A couple more.
Yeah, well, you
Okay.
gotta make sure we save up enough money.
So we're looking at 5 years
See,
ahead.
I like when I do trips, I like being able to save up enough money that I don't have to worry about budgeting while I'm on the trip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Makes sense.
I'm on a vacation, I want to splurge. I want to go everywhere, do everything, not have to worry about if I got enough money to go to a fancy dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I want to be able to splurge. I like to be able to save up plenty for that trip.
I agree.
So, I do
Yeah,
think Africa is in the future. Maybe not in the near
hmm
future. Say with Australia, but
and then
Costa Rica.
Florida.
I feel like I can comfortably go to Costa Rica like twice a year, realistically.
Yeah, maybe just you.
Maybe just me.
And then you got to go to
I'm
Florida.
fine with that.
Come down to the Everglades. Have you been to the Everglades yet?
Yeah, I have. I went there. When did I go there? Just over a year ago. I went to the Everglades.
And you went empty-handed when you left.
Yeah, I
So you
didn't
didn't go
bring
with
anything
me.
back. I know. I didn't go with you. It was weird when I went though. There wasn't a lot of gators. We didn't find too many.
What time of year?
Just after winter, I think it was still too cold for them.
Do you know what part of the Everglades?
Outside of Fort Lauderdale.
Like Everglades City, like near there.
I don't know, dude. Look, it was right after a cruise. I was
Uh,
probably still had a few too many drinks.
yep.
So it was a lot of drinking for a lot of days prior to that. So yeah.
Maybe it was better you didn't find any gators.
We did see some gators there, just not too many.
Uh,
There's a couple times where I think that's a gator over there, but I can't really tell.
hmm We were just in the Everglades last week. We got no berms, but we caught a lot of snakes. It was my first time catching a scarlet snake. I've never caught one of
Okay.
those, so that was pretty cool. And then we caught a lot of cottonmouths. We caught this one massive cottonmouth. Did you see my story on that?
I don't think I did.
Let me send you this picture. It was huge. And he was pissed. But it was a lot of fun, even though we caught no berms. We caught two baby gators. Don't let FWC know. It was a lot of fun though. But no berms. Last time we caught one berm, but I think there was a random cold front. We were there 2 nights, and the second night, out of nowhere, there was like a cold front, and it dropped down to like 60s, which is, I mean, people that don't live in Florida, it's probably nothing, but here in Florida, that's cold. So,
I mean, that's
um,
like freezing here.
yeah, you're in it. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
So
it's
there was
hot
nothing
here.
out the second night. No gators really. Did some fishing. It was pretty fun.
With your eastern hognose that you're getting, you're gonna have to do a lot more fishing.
Oh yeah. So we're picking up 3 snakes this week to add to the collection. We're getting 2 children's pythons, which is a pair, or they never bred before, but they'll be ready this year. Which I probably won't breed them this year, though. I'll probably breed them next year. And then we're getting a eastern hognose, but I'm probably gonna resell him or trade him or something. He's kind of just coming with the children pythons, so I don't know if I'm actually gonna keep him or not. But we may see if he grows on me. Chances are slim to none, though. Kyle, are you in the market for an Eastern hognose?
I am definitely not. I don't have the patience right now for an eastern
I
hognose.
don't either.
You have fun with that though.
That's why I got a falsie, because you
Just
don't need patience. You just throw food
exactly.
in there.
Most of my
Same with
snakes
the
I don't
monitor.
need patience for.
Yeah, no, actually, the monitor you need a lot of patience, but not for feeding. Feeding, you just eats like literally anything and doesn't stop eating. But he's crazy. He's not aggressive. So when I first got the monitor, he was super aggressive. He's not aggressive at all anymore. I've got him pretty tame. Now he's just like so energetic. Like he just doesn't stop running around. But he doesn't bite you or anything. He's just crazy. Definitely rodents. Once he smells like a pinky mouse or like a fuzzy, he goes crazy. But they're fun. They're worth it. Definitely get one if you're interested.
So I think that's pretty much the updates to our collection.
Yeah.
And we discussed what changed. We discussed what we're getting. Mostly what you're getting, because I'm not really getting much. I have some things I'm looking for, like the Gulf hammock rat snakes. And I think the last thing that we have to discuss here
Mm-hmm.
Why do you wear a helmet in all of your Instagram
Oh,
videos? And
okay.
you
Okay.
don't
I thought
even
you were gonna
have
mention.
a bike.
Okay, I thought you were gonna mention alligator wrestling, so I was excited. But yeah, we can talk about that. Okay, okay.
No,
You guys
we're
gotta,
going to
you gotta
discuss
hear
the
me out.
helmet. We'll get to
Look,
alligator wrestling.
you gotta hear me out. Okay. So I'm a man of many traits, and one of my traits is getting views on things I don't do. So basically, ever since I started wearing a helmet in the videos, I've gained a lot of views. I've been getting 100K views on. I've got 100K in 3 different reels from wearing a helmet. Okay, and now some people may call me a helmet creator. I do not consider myself a helmet creator. Reason being is helmet creators are like, oh, uh, when you're on a motorcycle and then you blah blah blah. Like they try to make relatable videos of them riding, but they don't ride. They just have a helmet. I do not mention anything about motorcycles. I just have a helmet on, you know. And the bike is coming soon once I stop buying snakes. So
So the bike is never coming, is what I
no, no,
just heard. I
no,
heard
it's
that you're
coming. It's
never.
coming.
It's. I think
I'm
it's.
trading that hog nose.
I think it's coming as fast as you're getting a new microphone.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, the
Yeah,
microphone's coming soon. By the way, this episode is recorded on speakerphone.
which actually sounded the best for him. He tried about 6 different microphones, and
I'll order a mic, I
this
swear.
this honestly doesn't sound bad for your audio.
Oh, that's good. Mic and bike. See, it goes together. Is coming soon.
Yeah,
You
next,
I will prove you wrong.
just like Africa's coming soon. It's a trip.
Well,
It's
I did go
coming
to
soon.
Africa.
Yeah, for me.
Maybe. Oh, for you. Oh.
Africa's coming soon for me. The next maybe 3 or 4 years.
Okay, it's not going to be 3 or 4 years. Maybe the mic. Well, the mic might come 3 or 4 years, but the bike definitely this year. Maybe.
Okay, so let's also discuss
Oh no.
that you briefly mentioned the alligator wrestling.
Okay. Yeah. So, I've never been into alligator wrestling. At our aquarium, we've never had alligator wrestling. We have alligators. We have like 20 alligators, but we do have alligator shows. But it's nothing like we're not touching the alligator. It's basically just feeding. And anyway, we ended up hiring a guy from Gatorland, and you know what Gatorland is, right, Kyle? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we hired a guy over there, which actually ran the social media team with Savannah. And he knows like everyone famous, by the way. He was just showing me, like, he was just flexing on me with like numbers, and he has like Chandler, Tyler. He knew Steve Irwin, kinda. He knew his parents, and then he knew Brian. He's on the list for the Legacy opening. He was put on the list, so he knows like everyone famous. Anyway, so he came over to work for us for some personal reasons, and he's an alligator wrestler. So he convinced the aquarium to start switching from our alligator shows to alligator wrestling, and he was kind of picking people. And anyway, I ended up getting really close with him, and he also has his alligator trapping aid license or whatever. So he's been taking me out, or gonna start taking me out to catch gators. And yeah, so I slowly started getting into that, and now he's gonna start training me on alligator wrestling. And so you can come down, Kyle, and now you have a reason to come to Florida. Come watch one of my shows.
Let's pretend that I didn't already have a reason to come to Florida.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's exciting. We're getting 4 full-grown alligators that are all like 7 foot, 8 foot. I guess it's not really full-grown, but 8-foot alligators we'll be getting. So it's gonna be fun. We haven't started the wrestling shows yet. It's gonna be in like a few months once we're all trained. But yeah. Oh, Kyle, you know where you need to go?
Where
Croc
do I need
Fest.
to go? Croc Fest.
You know what that is?
I think I've heard of it.
Come to that, wherever the next one is. Last time it was at Gatorland, but it may. I don't know where it's going to be this year, but that's where you need to go.
That might be a good time to come to Florida.
Perfect. Everyone famous, like every famous guy goes there also, and
Okay.
we're famous, so that's why we'll be going.
Well, yeah, naturally.
Well, they're inviting us because
Yeah.
it's a big deal for us to come.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we go, everybody's gonna go.
Yeah, I mean,
So
we are the Croc
there,
Fest.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Literally.
So now that we have like 10 trips planned,
Yeah.
Go to
You wanna-
Florida once, Africa once, Australia once, Costa Rica 20 times.
At least.
At least. If anything, maybe 30. Even more than that. We'll see.
Yeah. Anywhere else we want to go? Oh, have you been to the world's biggest McDonald's?
What?
It's in Orlando.
That's weird. That's a weird flex.
It's like 2 stories, and it has like pizza.
That's a really weird
I
flex.
mean, I haven't been there. I was just saying we could plan a trip there.
Well, trip to Orlando.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I want to drive that far. I mean, you can make that trip easily, but I don't know about me.
I can make that jump from the other side of the United States.
For me, it's like an hour and a half.
That's not even that far.
Yeah, I'm joking.
So,
Thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of Reptipod. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and also follow me on Instagram at Prime Exotics with an X. And where can we find you, Kyle?
at D20 Exotics on Instagram and TikTok. Be sure to stay tuned for the next episode of Reptipod Podcast, and we'll see you next time.